Now, starting with the Bhagavad Geeta, chapter 2, verses 1 to 18. We saw, I can't say. 1 to 18, I saw for sure last year. If you also saw, I'm very glad. I'm very happy. And this year, for 5 days, so we'll be seeing from verses 19 to 36. So even though we saw 1 to 18, I saw 1 to 18 last year, but I can't directly jump into 19 this year. I must go a little back and then start with the verse 19. So I have prepared my best. Even though you know something, yet when you want to present it, like cooking, you must know the recipe very well. By memory, you know all the recipe. But when you are cooking, not only cooking, but also presenting it on the table, unless it is very beautiful for the eyes first. No, before the eyes, it should be very, very tempting for the nose. Then everyone knows it's going to be very tasty. Then they see in front of the eyes, very beautiful arrangement. And then finally, putting in the mouth, the tongue tasting. So the presentation takes a lot of preparation. So even though the chapter 2, I must have spoken before too, but to present to you fresh. So that's why I keep cooking whole day. And I thank you for that, for keeping me preoccupied with Gita chapter 2. For your sake, I'm cooking. Just as for my sake, my Bhiksha families cook so tastily. And they think that I eat once a month. Therefore, elaborately they make. So too, when you do it for me so lovingly, I also want to do more lovingly than I can, so that you will also enjoy. So, Gita Jnana Yajna. It's a Jnana Yajna. Yajna, moment we say Yajna, the picture comes in our traditional orthodox Indian mind. Yajna means a Havan Kunda, a fire trough in which the fire is kindled and all the oblations are poured, swaha, swaha. That's an objective yajna. This is a subjective yajna. In the trough of your BMI, your body, your mind, your intellect is the trough. In the trough of the BMI, the fire of consciousness, Chinmaya, is lit. You're always conscious. Chinmaya is always with you. Chinmaya means pure consciousness. So the fire of consciousness is constantly illuminating all your experiences, physical, emotional, and intellectual. Even the absence of the BMI is illuminated by the same consciousness. So just as you offer oblations in the objective fire trough, the Yajna Kunda, in summer camp, they do the Yajna. It's very, very nice to watch the children offering the oblation, the ghee and the materials they offer mixed with all the varieties of herbs and coconut. So you should enjoy. If you want to watch a physical yajna, come to summer camp to watch. But here, when you are doing yajna, it's a subjective yajna. In your own BMI, the fire of consciousness The conflagration of consciousness is constantly shining. In that, just as you pour oblations, you are pouring all your negative tendencies. So we are pouring our ignorance in the fire of knowledge. All the ignorance get burnt up. Anything you put in fire, all becomes ash. That's the glory of fire. Fire is the greatest purifier. Anything you put in fire, fire is called purifier. So to the light of consciousness, Chinmaya is the purifier. Purifies all the negative tendencies. You become ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values, first within, then without. So offering our negative tendencies in the fire of knowledge is our Yajna now. So each one tries to offer what all negative or bad habits, this is the time. And when bad habits are gone, good habits shine. Offering tamas and rajas. Tamas, the non-apprehension of the pure consciousness. Because of the non-apprehension, the mind has the manufacturer's defect to project. When there is non-apprehension, the consequent misapprehensions. That's called rajas at the mind level. So tamas at the intellect level, ignorance at the intellect level, and misapprehensions at the mental level. We misunderstand. So tamas and rajas. So we are offering our non-apprehension and misapprehensions in the fire of knowledge, in the fire of consciousness, in the fire of Chinmaya. So we invoke Gurudev's grace to remove our tamas and rajas, erase tamas and rajas, erase the non-apprehension and the misapprehensions, and make us apprehend the reality. That is the Yajna. The Gita starts with Shoka. And from Shoka only Shloka also came, all Shlokas. So Shoka, sorrow. There is no one who does not know sorrow. If anybody does not know sorrow, after 30th, meet me next year. I will introduce you to sorrow. Not only just ordinary sorrow, but also solid, concentrated, saturated sorrow. I'm capable of giving that, introducing you to it, if you don't know. But all are familiar with sorrow. You may say, Swamiji, what familiar? Sorrow is our middle name. So people have middle name sorrow. And worry also we know very well. We live in it. And they compare worry as a dark room. Worry is the dark room in which negatives can be developed. Because nowadays we are all digital photographs. Therefore, you're not familiar with the olden days photographs. In the olden days, in the dark room, they develop. So to worry is the dark room in which all negativities can be, all negative tendencies, they will develop. Therefore, worry is the most unhygienic, unhealthy to be in. Never be in the room of worry. Never be in the dark room of worry. Bury the worry. How, Swami? How? Right now I'm worried. Now that you said bury the worry. How? Okay, think. Everyone has sorrows. Everyone has sorrows, but not I. Everyone has sorrows, but not I. Oh, Swamiji, yeah, maybe because what? For you, everything is taken care. And we get sorrow by taking care of you. We get worried taking care of you. So you may say that you have no sorrows. It is not just I. Every one of you can say everyone has sorrows, but not I. Because shoka, sorrow, is due to moha. Moha means delusion. Delusion at the intellect level. Look at me here. Delusion here, illusion there. Delusion of the rope here, illusion of the snake there. Delusion of the post here, illusion of the ghost there. Delusion of the waker here, illusion of dreamer and the dream world. You see that. So shoka because of moha, delusion. So to I, when I say I, everyone has sorrows, everyone has worries, but not I. I means I as I. There appears to be two I's. I as I and I as so and so. I as I means Om. I as I, Om, the pure consciousness, Chinmaya. And I as so and so. So and so means relative relationship. As BMI. As BMI, craving for OET based on our own vasanas. I as I, pure consciousness. But I as so and so, relative relationship. As BMI, PFT. As BMI means as body, mind, intellect. As perceiver I. As performer I. As feeler I. As thinker I. As perceiver I, craving for objects. As feeler I, begging for emotional love. As thinker I, disappointed for ideas, constipated ideas, or diarrhea of words. What a tragedy, isn't it? So all based on BMI, as so and so. So when I say everyone has sorrows and worries, but not I, this I am. If you can stop, if somebody asks you, who are you? I am. Put a period, not a semicolon or comma. I am, period, that's it. But for others, see, for myself, I am. Just I am. But for others, I am Swami. I am a teacher. Vedanta teacher to be more personal. I am a Vedanta teacher. Or you also. In you, when you are also I as I. Then as so and so from the BMI standpoint, you are a homemaker. You are a doctor. You are a lawyer. You are an engineer. See that? All this possible. So only when I'm transacting with others, then I can relate based on my BMI relationship. Based on my BMI relationship, I encounter others. I transact with others. I relate with others. So from my body standpoint, I'm a parent. From my mind standpoint, I'm a spouse. From my intellect standpoint, I'm a professional. But as I am, I say, I am parent. I am spouse. I am professional. It's only with the relative, from the BMI standpoint alone. All relative relationship is only from the BMI standpoint. But as I am, just I am. So, but as I am, who? Who am I? What? What am I? I know as a parent. I know as a spouse. I know as a professional. I know that. But as I am, what am I? I am, when I say, as I am, I alone am real. I am is the reality. When I say I'm giving Gita, Jnana, Yajna, some people some people call me from India also. I said, please don't call me from 26th to 30th. Please don't call me, because I'll be putting you may call me, but it'll be on do not disturb mode. So you will not be able to reach me. Why, Swamiji, you will be on? I said, I am giving Gita, Jnana, Yajna. And they asked me, really? I don't know when how am I giving false Gita, Jnana, Yajna? Really, they ask. I say, yes, really, I'm going to talk about real. Now, when we say real, what is real? Real means I see. Sign language. This is I in sign language, and this is see. I see, to understand. What is real? I see. And you can say, okay, Swamiji, I see. What should I see? I see means, I means independent. Real means anything real should be independent, not depending upon anything else. That's called real. Also, see. So I means independent, and see means changeless. Real means independent. Real means changeless. So real is independent. Real is changeless. And when I discover that independent reality, changeless reality, and I discover it as I, when I discover it as I, then I start feeling I am independent. I am changeless. Now, for the intellect level, because what is that cannot be defined, or no description is possible for that reality. But the closest indication is Sakshi. Sakshi means witness. As a Sakshi, I am independent. As a Sakshi, I am independently conscious of BMI. I can witness the presence of BMI. I witness my body. I witness my sense organs. I witness my organs of action. I witness my mind. I witness my intellect. Sakshi of BMI, independent. And I can also witness the absence of BMI, deep sleep. Isn't it? You're conscious of your deep sleep. Oh, something in deep sleep, I'm not conscious. Did you know that you slept well? Especially when you go to somebody's house as a guest. Morning when you wake up and come down for a cup of coffee. When you come down for coffee, what is the first question your host asks? Did you sleep well? And you say, oh, wonderful. I had a beautiful sleep. I slept like a log. How do you know that? You may say, when you, oh, Swamiji, only when I wake up, I know. When you wake up, you know means what? You had a memory. You remember. You remember that you had a good sleep. Isn't it? When you remember that you had a good sleep, means who knows it? That Sakshi Chaitanya, that witnessing consciousness was illuminating even your deep sleep. Because we say that I went to sleep, I woke up, I dreamt. Because today we are identified with the mind. When the mind goes to sleep, I say I went to sleep. When the mind dreams, I say I dreamt. When the mind wakes up, I say I woke up. I am awake means when the mind has woken up. When the mind has slept, I was asleep. When the mind has a dream, say I had a dream. So we identify with the mind and claim the mind's experiences as my experience. If you start thinking, the waking experiences, the waker has. The waker has the waking experiences. The dreamer has the dream experiences. And the deep sleeper has the deep sleep experience. These three, waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper, they are three separate individual entities. Separate entities. The waker dies when you enter. Waker has no visa to enter the dream world. No visa given. If the waker enters the dream world, waker dies. And waker and the dreamer have no visa in the deep sleep state. Waker and dreamer die in the world of deep sleep. Only one. Waker in the waking world. Dreamer in the dream world. Deep sleeper in the deep sleep world. Each one is separate. But you say, I am awake. When you wake up, when the mind wakes up, you say, I am awake. And then you say, I had a nice dream. Then you say, I had a wonderful sleep. Who is this I? Cannot be the waker. When you wake up, the waker comes. The waker was not there in the dream. So who saw the dream? Waker did not see, only dreamer saw. But you say, I had a nice dream. And deep sleep, oh, I had a wonderful sleep. So one I, the same I is shuttling through the waking, dream, and the deep sleep. Who is this same I? I am awake. I had a nice dream. I had a wonderful sleep. Who is this I? This I is the Sakshi. Independent of the waking state and the waker. Independent of the dream and the dreamer. Independent of the deep sleeper and the sleep. This Sakshi is independent. Does not depend upon the BMI. Whether BMI is there, Sakshi illumines. So the witness witnesses the presence of the BMI in the waking state. The same witness witnesses the dream of the dreamer. And the same witness witnesses the deep sleep. Without doing anything, just witnessing. Just witnessing. So this Sakshi is non-doer. And this Sakshi is the same changeless Sakshi. Not the Sakshi, the witness who's witnessing the waking state is different from the witness who's witnessing the dream state or the deep sleep state. Same Sakshi. Same changeless Sakshi, witnessing all the states, the three worlds we are shuttling every day. Waking world, dream world, and the deep sleep world. And the witness is witnessing all the three worlds every day. That's why nowadays, when the Bhiksha family and all comes, I ask, did you wash your hands? When I ask them, did you wash your hands? Some of them get so scared, especially due to the pandemic and all. Yes, Swamiji, we washed. Then immediately I show a slide. Samatha, please show the slide. See the slide? You don't really wash your hands. They wash each other. While you just stand there and watch. But what do we say? I washed my hands. But what are you doing? You're simply standing there. You're witnessing your hands washing your hands. Your hands washing. Your hands are washing each other. And you're just standing there. You're doing nothing. You're not washing. So I asked them, did you wash your hands? Yes, Swamiji. I said, after showing this slide to you, what can you say? Some say, I'm witnessing my hands washing. Then I asked them, you please ask me. They ask, okay, Swamiji, did you wash your hands? I say, I watched. I watched. Means I watched. And people may think I said, I washed. And they may also assert, Swamiji doesn't pronounce properly. He doesn't know how to pronounce. He must have said, I washed. That is why my disclaimer. What is my disclaimer? I am only responsible for what I say, not for what you understand. I am only responsible for what I say, not for what you understand. So my hands are washing each other and I'm standing there and watching. Not only washing, my hands are washing each other. Every activity at the BMI level, all activities at the body, mind, intellect level, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking, all the activities. If I ask you, I said seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking. When I say it so fast, you say, oh, Swamiji, can you repeat it? I can't repeat. Therefore, I had to put a slide. So Samatha, please put the slide. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking. See that? All the activities, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. These are the sense organs activity. Feeling, thinking, mind and intellect activity. And blinking and winking, I put extra masala. Okay. So it's an extra spice. So seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking, all activities. I am Sakshi. I am the witness of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking. And today I want to give you all heard about the Gita quiz. Today I want to give another quiz. What should you do at the seat of meditation? What do you do when you sit at the seat of meditation? Oh, Swamiji, I never sit at the seat of meditation. Okay, suppose, in case, by chance, you sit at the seat of meditation. When you sit down to meditate, what is the purpose? I want to contact God. Contact the reality. So if you want to contact God at the seat of meditation. Now, Samatha, please put the slide. I'm giving you the contact number of God. If you want to contact God, see that? Contact God. And the contact number of God. What's the contact number of God? 426-948-6377. Please don't dial this above number on your phone. It is not a phone number. So don't dial on your phone. Contact the above number with your mind and intellect. That's why I gave you what 1 stands for, 2 stands for, 3. What are the letters for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? What are the alphabets? Based on this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 to 9, based on those letters, you have to coin the word. And it reveals, when you get that word, that is God. So don't dial the number on your phone. Contact this number at the seat of meditation. So that is the contact number of God. So this is the homework. You can, in your dining table or anywhere, please start. So if you want this picture, email the organizers. They will send you the picture so that you can have all the details of 2 to 9. What are the alphabets for 2 to 9 to discover what the number indicates. Now coming back. So like us, Arjuna also was, he had much greater problems than you and I. So Arjuna also was confused and worried. So when somebody is confused and worried, majority, when you go to somebody, they increase your confusion and worries. There are people like that. Luckily for Arjuna, Lord Krishna was there. So immediately Krishna could lift him out of that dejection. He reveals to him, to Arjuna, the highest standpoint, the absolute standpoint. Because he says, hey Arjuna, nothing can happen to you. Don't worry. As I said, remember, everyone has problems, but not I. So Krishna says, hey Arjuna, you have nothing to worry about. Because Lord is talking from ISI. ISI, no one has problems. No one has worries. No one has sorrows. Therefore, you can tell anyone, don't worry, no sorrow can touch you. Nothing will happen to you. You can very boldly tell anyone. When somebody is very sorrowful, he says, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? They're so worried. And you can tell them, nothing will happen to you. Nothing can happen to you. You are safe. Not that stay safe. No, you are safe. That is the absolute standpoint. Why Lord is giving the absolute standpoint? Because there is kartavya vyamoha. Kartavya vyamoha means confusion regarding my own duty. When we are confused, we ask others. And when we ask 2 people, we get 23 advices. Just 2 people you ask and see 23 advices they'll give you. Once a youngster, whenever I say youngster, people think I'm saying gangster. A youth, one young man came, confused. And he asked me, Swamiji, should I marry or not? When he asked such a question, what can I say? I said, don't marry. And he asked, why, Swamiji? Why I should not marry? No, what can I say? I said, okay, marry, I said. Then he asked, why? When I said, don't marry, he says, why? When I say marry, then also he asked, why? Then why not? I asked. When I asked, why not? He left. What else can I say? So when somebody is confused, you say this, why? You say that, why? Therefore, we should know the guidelines to decide. Our decision should always be based on data. Without data, based on your likes and dislikes, you are doing your activities. Majority of us do based on our likes and dislikes, based on our raga dvesha. Therefore, we cannot take decisions based on data because my mind is so overwhelmed with my likes and dislikes. So duty cannot be performed well. So first we should know, before I fulfill my responsibilities, before I take my decision, I should see all the data. Based on the data should be my decision. So kartavya vyamoha means delusion regarding our duties. So first, duty is only for a doer. Kartavya is only for a karta. Karta means doer. So duty is for a doer. If I am a doer, then duty comes. If I am a karta, then kartavya. So you have to determine, who am I? Then duty comes. So you should know, I as I, no duty, only beauty. I as I, duty free. I don't know what understanding you will get. I as I, duty free. But I as so-and-so, all duties. I as a parent, parental duty, parental responsibilities. I as a spouse, spousal responsibilities. I as a professional, professional responsibilities. So duty is only for a doer as so-and-so. As I, duty free. So as somebody alone, duty comes, not as I. So when we are confused about our own identity, what duty can we do? When you're in a family, when we are in a family, we know the relationships, father, mother, siblings, etc. Then we relate. We relate as a parent. We relate as a spouse. We relate as a son or daughter. And also relate as mill, fill, bill, sill, etc., etc. Isn't it? One day, this man, he went with his friends and they had a party and he drank what? Bhang. Here you may not know, but some of our members are very familiar with that. So this man drank bhang with his friends. And what will he do after he drank? He started to serve, because he had to overdose, his friends loaded him with it. So he started crying, take me home, take me home, take me home. He started crying. So one of his friends took pity on him and started taking him to his home. When he was taken home, even at home, he's crying, take me home, take me home. He was dropped in his own home by the friend. In the home, being at home, he's crying, take me home, take me home. Now, at that time, what can you tell him? You cannot tell him, hey, this is not becoming of you. A noble man will never do like this. You're a noble man. You're a noble person. Nothing will go in. What's the use? He is intoxicated. At that time, what you should do? Give him a Punjabi size glass of buttermilk. When you give him a Punjabi glass buttermilk, Punjabi size glass buttermilk, and make him aware of his identity. Once he is aware of his identity, then all the duty as so-and-so starts. And also we must remember what? All problems only as a relative entity. One problem or the other. Always there will be problem, one problem or other. As a son, problem. As a husband, problem. And as a son, some little problems. But as a husband, more problems. Because you are more attached. So now who should you be? Should you be a son or should you be a husband? If you identify more as a husband, then what happens? Your wife is very happy. But your mom, your mother, then you are called as you are a bad son, but very good husband. But suppose you identify as a son, mom is very happy and wife miserable, and you are called, you are a bad husband. Now what to do? If I'm a husband, then wife is happy, then I'm a bad son. If I identify as a son, mom is happy, but I'm a bad husband. What am I to do, Swamiji? And that's the time you say, Swamiji, you are so lucky. Because we have more roles to play and you have no role, only Swami. Anyone, you are a Swami. But even a Swami also has problems. As a Swami, you saw me. Don't Swami, please. Therefore, if you want to make any decision, what role decision you have to make, discover first your absolute identity. Then which role is to be given more importance, more priority. So when you look at the entire situation objectively, then alone you can decide. You'll be able to decide which role should be given more importance and which role should be given more priority. But we are not able to do it. That is why we ask someone else. When we are in trouble, we ask others. And when you ask others, other people easily advise. That's called Paropadesha Pandityam. Means advising others is the easiest thing. What is the easiest thing? Advising others. Lucky for Arjuna, he had Lord himself. That is the glory of Arjuna. He chose the Lord. Duryodhana did not choose the Lord. Because there are only two things in the world. Only two entities. One is him, the Lord, and his. Him, the Lord, the pure consciousness, and his world. Now, if I ask you, what will you choose? Will you choose the Lord or his world? Now that I told this, all of you will say, Swamiji, I will choose only the Lord. But till yesterday, what were you choosing? Only his world. Like Duryodhana, we choose his world. Because Duryodhana chose his army, means his world. It is Arjuna who chose the Lord. And Lord also said, I will not lift a weapon. I will not fight. I will only advise. And Arjuna, you may choose first. Now imagine Duryodhana's condition. He says, Krishna said, I will not fight. And I will only advise. And my army, fully equipped, will fight. So my army will fight. So I divide into two, me and my army. Me, I will not fight. I will only advise. My army will fight. You may choose anyone. Arjuna, I give you the chance first to choose because you are younger. The younger one always gets the choice. Now Duryodhana his heart was thudding. What if Arjuna chooses the army? If Arjuna chooses the army, then what? I will get this useless one. What? Krishna. And this useless one will not fight. And it will not fight. And one more mouth to feed, extra mouth to feed. And that mouth will not keep quiet also. That mouth will advise. See that? This Duryodhana's thinking. What if Arjuna chooses the army? I get this Krishna, who will not do anything. And then he will only advise. See, when you see the Lord non-doer, Sakshi, Sakshi does nothing, just witnessing. The definition of witness itself means not involved in any event, in any incident, in any accident. That's called Sakshi, the witness. The witness is not involved in the incident or event or accident. Means just a spectator. Lord is that. But that witness, if you turn your attention to the witness, that witness can advise you. So this is the glory of being that. So first, witness your situations, observe, collect all the data. Based on the data should be your decision. So the relative reality, you should check objectively and then decide the right thing. Be a Dhira Purusha. In chapter 2, refer verse 15. Lord Krishna gives the definition of Dhira. Who is a Dhira Purusha? Samaduhka Sukham Dhiram. Chapter 2, verse 15. Yam hina vyathayantyete purusham purusharshava samaduhka sukham dhiram somrutattvaya kalpate. So Dhira Purusha is one. Oh, who is Dhira, by the way? I hope if in the live in person, I would have asked you, but you can tell in your mind. Dhira means you should say Dheerananda, Swamiji, Swami Dheerananda, you should say immediately. So Dhira is one who is balanced. Balanced in what? In joy and sorrow. In Sanskrit, there are two words. It's called Mana Sthiti and Paristhiti. Mana Sthiti and Paristhiti. Mana Sthiti means mental climate. Paristhiti means the outside situation. Mental climate and outside climate. Manasthiti, Paristhiti. So our mind has two things. That is Manasthiti and watching the Paristhiti. Our mind should not get carried away by the Paristhiti. But it happens. So we have to practice. So don't think that falling is not there. There will be, we may slip and fall. Falling is not the criterion. How quickly I stand back. How quickly I rise. Everybody falls. If somebody says, Swamiji, I never fell. You never fell because you are lying down. If you are lying down, where can you fall? Only when you climb up, you can fall. So watch your manasthiti, the mental climate, while you're facing the paristhiti. You must be knowing thermometer and thermostat. Thermometer means thermometer just reads the temperature. It gives you what temperature is outside or what temperature is inside. That's called thermometer. Thermostat. Thermostat, you can adjust the temperature to your convenience. In the summer, I adjust my thermostat to 68. Thermostat. Because I like it cool. In summer, 68. In winter, 70. So you can adjust the thermostat to your convenience. So to our mind, majority of our minds are thermometer. If sorrow outside, mind also shows the sorrow. You are not able to adjust the temperature of the mind. So we should make the mind like a thermostat. Adjust according to the situation. That's called adaptability. Remember the 18 steps to immortality: serenity, regularity, absence of vanity, sincerity, simplicity, veracity, equanimity, fixity, non-irritability, adaptability. So you have to adapt to the situation. So be balanced. When you are balanced, then you can face the situation very cheerfully. We may ask, why should I learn the art of balancing something? If I am balanced, remember, samadukka sukham dhiram, then what is the benefit? What's the blessing? Somrutatvaya kalpate. One who is balanced will be fit, qualified for immortality. So samadukka sukham dhiram. One who is balanced in joy and sorrow, such a person is called dhira. And if I am balanced in joy and sorrow, then what is the blessing? Somrutatvaya kalpate. I will be fit for immortality. Amrita. Mrita means death. Death means change. Change is called death. Amrita means changeless. So if I'm balanced in joy and sorrow, I will be qualified to discover the changeless reality. So be balanced. When you are balanced and keep smiling, then you can easily forbear. When I'm balanced, I can forbear. But we may ask, Swamiji, how long should we forbear? How long should I bear? How long should I forbear? Now Krishna takes a little higher level. See, we try to forbear something by taking it as real. When you take it as real, it is not that easy to forbear. My pain in the neck, real pain in the neck, difficult to forbear. So we suffer. Imagine when you go to a movie. In the movie also, if you think it is real, then what happens? And you identify. And then what happens? Thinking it is real. And you start crying. If the heroine cries, you cry. And you suffer. Is movie real? But what to do? We identify. So first I should realize it is not real. Then no suffering. Then we can be easily balanced in spite of any situation. In the movie, when the heroine is crying, you start appreciating, oh, how beautifully she cries. Amazing. That cry, really, she's really crying very good. Her laughter is not that good, but her cry is awesome. You're appreciating her crying. But the others who are identifying, they start crying with the heroine. They think they are the heroine and they start crying. What to do? The heroine crying there is understandable. Why? Because she is paid for it. She is paid to cry, therefore she has to cry. And you are paying to watch a movie. You paid and you are watching the movie and you pay and cry. There should be some limit for stupidity. We have unlimited stupidity. But a movie, while you're watching the movie, for the tragic scene, if you identify and cry, that is okay to an extent. While it is happening, the heroine is crying. At that time, you're crying. And the movie got over. And when you come back home, the next day also you tell that and you cry. That is ridiculous, isn't it? So movie and all, we are understanding the example. Now apply. When my mind is unhappy, why should I be unhappy? If the heroine is crying, why should I cry? Why I identify and cry? So if my mind is unhappy, why should I be unhappy? Because I identify with my mind and become unhappy. Imagine if my dog is scratching. My dog is scratching. Why should I scratch? So I also start scratching my ears because the dog is scratching the ears. I'm also scratching. Why? What happened? Oh, my dog is scratching. Yes, my dog, your dog is scratching. Why should you scratch? If you want to scratch, why don't you scratch with your leg? This is called identification. So you start forbearing. The forbearance can be practiced only by thinking it is real, giving reality to the experience or accepting the experience as real. As long as you accept it real, then you try to forbear. Like, for example, if you have value for money, very easy to fall for temptation. Even if you're an honest man, but if you have some value for money, there's a chance for yielding to temptation for a bigger bribe. You may not go for, I will give you 100,000. You may tell Swamiji, I'll give you 100,000. So Swamiji, if you tell me not to attend the Yajna, I'll give you 100,000. I said, what? You can bribe me with 100,000? Then you will start thinking, oh, 100,000 is not enough. Okay, Swamiji, I'll give you 1 million. I said, no, you better attend. Okay, Swamiji, 2 million. No, you attend class, attend the Yajnas, 5 days. Oh, 5 million, I'll give you something. No, you better attend. And I start thinking, even 5 million is not falling for it. Okay, Swamiji, 50 million I'll give you. When he says 50 million, I start thinking, Chinmaya Somanath, 10 million. Then Chinmayanandam, another project. Sorry, 50 million you will give. See that moment you value it, chance, you start asking, okay, are you sure you can give 50 million? Then that person knows, oh, now I can tempt Swamiji. Think, if I have some value for money, there's a chance to fall. But if you consider the money, dollars as monopoly money, the child tells me, Swamiji, I'll give you 100 million monopoly money if you play with me. I'm preparing for the Gita class. And the child says, Swamiji, if you play with me, I'll give you 100 million monopoly money. What do I care for monopoly money? I know it has no value. It has no real money. When you know it is not a real money. Even India, after the demonetization, all the useless money they give, even for peanuts, it cannot be used. Isn't it? See that? No value, because it is unreal. So when you give reality, it is difficult to forbear. If you find it, you try to forbear and becomes difficult to forbear. Giving too much value for the BMI. When I'm giving too much value to BMI, it will make us yield to unending demands. No end for demands. So what we are experiencing, is it really real? Is it really real? Examine. What is real? Saint Krishna gives, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha, ubhayorapi drishtonta. So beautifully Lord Krishna gives. And there Shankara adds extra masala to it. Adi Shankara. He defines real and unreal. He says, Yad Vishaya Buddhihi na vyabhicharati tat sat. That regarding which your thought does not change. That is real. That regarding which your thought does not change. That is real. And what is unreal? Yad Vishaya Buddhihi vyabhicharati tat asat. That regarding which your thought changes. That is unreal. That regarding which your thought changes. That is unreal. See, definitions are always difficult to understand and appreciate. Examples always help. Gold earring, gold eyebrow ring, gold cheek ring, gold nose ring, gold lip ring, gold tongue ring. Now think, that regarding which your thought does not change. That is real. Same thought is not changing. Now in this example, gold eyebrow ring, gold cheek ring, gold nose ring, gold lip ring, gold tongue ring. Eyebrow ring is not cheek ring is not nose ring is not lip ring is not tongue ring. They're changing. But there is one changeless thought, the golden thought, the gold thought, changeless. As I said earlier, what is real? I see. I means independent. C means changeless. Gold, changeless. And gold also independent. There is ornament, all ornaments. The eyebrow ring, you can make it into cheek ring. The cheek ring, you can make it into nose ring. Nose ring, you can make it into lip ring. Lip ring, you can make it into tongue ring. They change. So ornaments change. And ornaments also not independent. The ornament depends upon gold. So ornaments change and depending on gold. Gold is changeless and gold is independent. Gold does not depend upon the ornament. So gold is independent and gold is changeless. Ornaments, they depend on gold and ornaments change. So what is real in this? The changeless gold, the independent gold. So independent, changeless gold is the reality in the example. Now see in your own personal. You're conscious of your physical experiences, joys, pains and pleasures, you're conscious of the physical. You're conscious of the emotional experiences, joys and sorrows. You're conscious of your intellectual experiences, dejection or elation. So pain and pleasure. Pain is not pleasure. Pleasure is not pain. Pain changes to pleasure. Pleasure changes to pain. Joy changes to sorrow. Sorrow changes to joy. Dejection changes to elation. Elation changes to dejection. They keep changing. But conscious of pain and pleasure. Conscious of joy and sorrow. Conscious of dejection, elation. The same changeless consciousness, illuminating the changing pairs of opposites. And these pairs of opposites, they cannot exist by themselves. They are depending on consciousness. If you're not conscious of pain, as in deep sleep, you're not conscious of pain. So no pain. When you're not conscious of sorrow, no sorrow. When you're not conscious of dejection, no dejection. So all the pairs of opposites, they are depending upon consciousness. And even when they're absent, consciousness is illuminating the absence of pain and pleasure, absence of joy and sorrow, absence of dejection and elation. So consciousness is independent. Consciousness is changeless. So remember, Chinmaya is independent. Chinmaya is changeless. Right? So this is what you have to keep on remembering. Asserting that I am changeless. The consciousness in me is changeless. The consciousness in me is independent. And this consciousness is the self. It is indestructible, imperishable. Not only imperishable, it is all pervading. In same chapter 2, verse 17, Lord Krishna declares, Avinashitu tadviddhi, yena sarvamidam tatam, vinasham avyayasyasya, na kaschit kartum arhati. This self is avinashi. This reality is imperishable. This consciousness, you call it consciousness, is a very principle of existence. Like table, existence of table. existence of chair, existence of book. Table is not chair, chair is not book, but table exists, chair exists, book exists. So existence is changeless. Existence is independent, whereas the existing things, they depend upon existence. Avinashi, imperishable is existence. Yena sarvamidam tatam. This reality is pervading everything. Real is all pervading. Like raga, those who know music. Raga, where exactly is the raga in the song? Those who don't know how to detect the raga, they cannot tell. But those who know how to tell the raga, they know raga is pervading in and through the song. I still remember my experience. MS Subbalakshmi came to sing for Chinmaya Mission. And since it's Chinmaya Mission organizing, I wanted a very front seat. And naturally, the Chinmaya Mission Swami, you are given the front row seat. Like you are all having front row seat now in your own computer. So I was given the front row seat because I wanted to enjoy the face, looking at the face of MS Subbalakshmi. So I was sitting there and she started singing. When she started singing, what a divine face, so melodious, very enjoyable. I was looking at her constantly, enjoying her singing. But how long can you watch without you blinking your eyes? Even Balaji's face in Tirumala, you cannot watch continuously. Therefore, they start pushing you out. Jargandi, Jargandi, Jargandi. They try to push you out. Now with a stick, they push you out. You know, even Balaji's face you cannot see for a long time. But how long can I see him? My eyes got tired. So I removed my glasses and wanted to massage my eyes. As I was massaging my eyes, next to me was an old man sitting. He tapped me and said, Swami, Swami. Then I looked. Swami, enna ragam partha sollunga, he said. Swamiji, can you see what raga it is and then tell me? When he asked, please see what raga it is and then tell me. When he said that, please see and tell. Immediately took my glasses, cleaned it, and wore my glasses and started literally seeing for the raga. When I started seeing like that old man understood very well my level of understanding of the music. He said, Swami, Swami, ninga summa irunga, he said. Swami, you sit quietly, don't worry, don't exert yourself. That raga is all pervading in the song. Existence is all pervading like raga. Consciousness is all pervading. Every experience, the same consciousness is illuminating. In the waking, in the dream, in the deep sleep. So this consciousness is imperishable. This consciousness is all pervading. Call it consciousness, call it existence. Vinasham avyayasya na kaschit kartum arhati. Nobody can destroy this existence consciousness. Even Ishvara cannot. Ishvara api. Even God cannot destroy because he is the changeless reality. He is the independent reality. Ocean never changes. The waves change. Ocean never dies. Waves die. Gold never changes. Ornaments change. Clay never changes. Clay utensils change. Please note, you may write it down also. Today, especially, you have to write this point. What? Speaker never changes. All the 5 days. Speaker never changes. Audience change. Remember this. So if you want to be the changeless reality, then, so I'm going to, every day in the end, I'll ask, may I see all? In the end, I'll ask. Not, you need not be all the time on the your face. Even it is very difficult for me to see your face all the time. But when I ask you to show the face, then when I request you, then please show your face. Okay. So speaker never changes. Audience change. All these 5 days, same speaker, changeless speaker. But audience, they will change. So speaker is the reality. Audience, try to be the reality. So subjectively, if you see, I, same I in every experience. I experienced pain. I experienced pleasure. I experienced sorrow. I experienced joy. I experienced dejection, disappointment. I experienced elation. See, same I, subjectively I. Objectively is. Table is. Chair is. Computer is. So objectively is changeless. Subjectively, I is changeless. And Swamiji, then what about the destruction we are seeing around? Is it not changing? We are seeing so much of destruction. Is it not changing? Yes, it is changing. Then it must be unreal. It is unreal because it is changing. So that in the very next verse, in verse 18, Lord Krishna is declaring, Antavanta ime dehaha nityasyokta sharirinaha anashinaha aprameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. In verse 18, Lord Krishna is declaring the destruction, what the destruction you are seeing and knowing. Antavanta ime dehaha. These bodies are destructible. These bodies are perishing. These bodies are perishing, he pointing out. So, whose bodies? Whose bodies? Nityasya ukta sharirina. These bodies which are perishing, they belong to the eternal indweller. These bodies of the eternal indweller. These bodies of the changeless indweller. These bodies of the eternal indweller, imperishable indweller, immeasurable indweller. Nityasya anashinaha aprameyasya sharirina. These bodies of the eternal indweller, Nitya. These bodies of the imperishable indweller, Anashina. These bodies of the immeasurable indweller, Aprameyasya. Antavante medeha. These perishing bodies are said to belong to the eternal, everlasting, indestructible, immeasurable indweller. The indweller is eternal and indestructible. But names and forms perish. Names and forms will perish. But the substratum upon which the names and forms are playing, the substratum will not perish. Ornaments perish, not gold. Waves die, not ocean. Clay utensils perish, not clay. In the same way, BMI perishes, not consciousness. Antavanta ime deha. These bodies are perishable, but not the eternal, imperishable indweller. Now, when you say Antavanta ime deha, these bodies have an end. The end part, you should understand better. What is that? There's a Vedantic way to look at it. What is the end? When you say Antavanta ime deha, these bodies have an end. What do you mean by that end? One meaning of when the body dies, end of the body. That is not. Even at the seat of meditation, there's the end of the body. At the seat of meditation, how you can end your body, how you can end the body, that we shall see from tomorrow. Okay, so next, Gurudev's Arati.
Chinmaya Sadguru ki Divya Rupa Murati Karuna आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया, धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया। शुद्ध नीति विधि शंकर की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। सिद्धवाणी की तपोभूमि में, नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे। भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की।
बोलिए सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
Please do namaskar to the Arati.